Welcome to Podcasts of Foes. I'm Greg Tito, host of Dragon Talk, the official Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To celebrate the launch of Mordenkainan's Tome of Foes, we worked with more than 20 of the community's favorite live play D&D podcasts to record special episodes using monsters and lore from Tome of Foes. We love highlighting the creativity of these amazing players and dungeon masters, and hopefully you will find one or two new podcasts to follow. To find out more about these groups and Mordenkainan's Tome of Foes, head to dnd.wizards.com/MTOF or check out our live video programming on twitch.tv/DND. I wanted to thank Victoria Rogers from the Broadswords for organizing all these amazing adventures from the community in this Podcasts of Foes. And to find out about the next D&D adventure, check out the Stream of Many Eyes on June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. More information on that event can be found at dnd.wizards.com/SOME. Have fun listening to this awesome one-shot adventure featuring monsters, stories, and lore pulled straight from Mordenkainan's Tome of Foes, available in game stores on May 18th and everywhere else on May 29th. Have fun rolling dice!
In a humble abode nestled in the small town of Phandalin, candlelight flickers from a second-story window. Inside, an adolescent girl scribbles in her journal with a black raven quill. Winter, formerly Alana Hallwinter, has a lot on her mind tonight. In one corner of her room, a canvas sack is filled to the brim with colorful dresses, ribbons, and toys, mementos of her old self. Now she dreams of being braver, fiercer, maybe even a little colder to the world outside. For the world out there is a scary place filled with monsters and things that go bump in the dark. Nonetheless, a well-loved stuffed bear sits at the edge of her desk. Her old friend, Bairn, still brings her comfort. His matted fur is filled with dried tears and other secrets he'll never share. As Winter's eyes flit toward her companion, a chill fills the air. She glances past him to find the window to her room indeed closed, but it frosts over rapidly. The candle flickers as though a brisk wind has entered the room, its light casting ominous shadows on the walls. And then, she is gone. The black ink from her quill bleeds onto parchment, threatening to blot out her final written words. The Raven Queen. Welcome to Podcasts of Foes. I'm Kat Kruger, DM for D20 Dames. I'm also chief wordsmith at Steampunk Unicorn Studio, where I write for entertainment and gaming clients. You can find some of my adventures on DM's Guild, a couple haunts in the board game Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, and some of my young adult books on Amazon.com. For the benefit of new listeners, we're going to go around the table for a quick intro of everyone else at the table.
Hi, I'm Maris Mullally, and I play a level 3 monk named Rose Lau. Rose is from a monastery in the Shulung region, where she's been training in the way of the 4 elements. She wears a navy silk tunic and trousers that she sewed herself, and ties her hair back into a bun. She has traveled all the way to Phandalin and to this larger region at the request of her abbot to seek out and learn more about the Dark Sisterhood. You can find me, Maris, online as the Fabric Alchemist.
Hi, my name is Jen Vaughn, and I play Riot Bonezerker, a forest ranger tiefling, technically a monster slayer tiefling, level 3. And Riot's quest is to find her missing siblings, if they're still alive, and hopefully not too evil. And in real life, I am a writer and artist of comic books.
Hi, I'm Brittany Leonagay. I play Sildar Hallwinter, who is technically an NPC, but I play him like he's not. He's mine now. He's a human, strapping older gentleman who is basically a semi-retired soldier. He also has adopted a dwarf child. And yes, he's a very storied man. But again, he's an NPC and I'm just here to play him as such. And you can find me online at Brittany Lee.
What's Sildar look like?
Sildar looks like, if you Google his character sheet, he looks like what you see there, which is like gray and like grayed beard, tall, strapping, but then like add 35 pounds to his midsection.
I believe you said an aging Disney prince before.
Yes, that's right. He is, like a 60-something Disney prince with like all the gusto and goofiness of a Disney prince, but just he's had his heels up on a desk for a little while, working with the city council, kind of just, living life.
Heck yeah. Riot is a red winged tiefling with like black wings, black smoked hands and feet, and black hair with silver horns. So she, she's really easy to pick out of the forest.
Just super flashy.
Yeah. She should be one of them city tieflings, but next thing.
Yeah, the roles don't pick you.
No, we picked them out of a book. No.
I guess for listeners too, I should mention that Brittany is an NPC because she's actually the producer of the show.
So I just like to come and hang out and play, and
I think Sildar is the best character on here, so got to see what we could do about retconning all that trademark stuff with wizards.
That's the problem. He was only like so drawn out for me that I just had to take him in like the silliest direction possible.
It's the end of another average day in Vandalin. The sleeping giant is hopping with locals and tourists alike. The dames have managed to sneak back into town with the rescued children from your last adventure. And at the Stonehill Inn, Nivar tucks them into bed in her spacious room. You've all agreed to present the kids to Sildar in the morning, when they're well rested after their ordeal in Neverwinter Wood. Sildar, you are blissfully unaware of the situation and have finished up another day at Townmaster's Hall. What does your evening routine look like?
Well, Sildar, he has a pretty consistent evening routine. It's kind of like clockwork, I think, especially since adopting Winter. He's kind of does like the sleepy old man thing. So he's insists that Winter eats dinner at the table in the kitchen with him every night. But after that, she's free to kind of go do her own thing. So that's when he kind of takes his time, and he likes to do a little bit of an evening stroll around the town square, kind of just checking in, looking a little too closely, around windows and just making sure there's no hustle and bustle where there shouldn't be, and there is hustle and bustle where there should be. So after his stroll, he probably comes back to his house and cleans up after dinner. And what I would call is a ritual for him is Sildar has been around for a while and has seen a lot of things, and he actually does some journaling, which is interesting because Winter does some journaling of her own. But Sildar's is a little bit more matter of fact. It's not very emotion driven. It's more just, this is what happened, and just to take note. On this,
Sildar doesn't write any emo poetry.
no, I mean, I'm sure him writing like "I was very excited today" is pretty much emo poetry. It's just a lot of emoting right there. But I think on this particular day, nothing really exciting happened. So he's actually not writing anything. He's more just going back to old journals and reading them. Maybe he's poured himself a glass of something brown and liquor-y. And yeah, he's just enjoying the rest of his evening. He's probably also checked in on Winter, kind of just peeked his head and just make sure she's there, which is a concern these days.
Does he start noticing in his journals any like common themes, like missing people a lot?
Yeah, the bulleted points in his journal definitely revolve around like characters and characters gone missing. For sure. Absolutely. And obviously the dames are highlighted in the last several pages. So
Woot!
Yeah.
We hope.
Basically celebrities in Sildar's mind, so.
All right. So over at Stonehill Inn, Rose, how are you sort of winding down for the evening?
I've gone down to I guess, the innkeeper's area to see if I can get a small cup of water that I take back up and heat up with my little ability to heat up a small amount of water. And then I plop in some leaves that I've got out of my bag. Not leaves that we took from Bud or anybody else. Leaves I already had from Shulung. And make myself a nice cup of hot tea. Rose also sits down to do a little journaling. She kind of unfurls not a sheet, but not a strip, a small amount of fabric that she writes on with a calligraphy brush and waterproof ink. So because she's learned paper just gets soggy and tears, so she writes a few little notes about her adventure so far, things she's possibly learning about her quest out here, to learn more about the Dark Sisterhood. And then after she finishes writing, she settles in for about 30 minutes of easy meditation.
Excellent. So over a couple rooms down, Navarre is tucking the children into bed, and then on the edges of town, Riot is at Alderleaf, where she has been staying in the hayloft. So Riot, what are you doing before bed?
Riot takes out her beloved bow, Hollow's Edge, and polishes it. Cleans the feathers on the bolts of each arrow, which have a very technical name. But she grew up in a dungeon, so she just calls them flocks. That's definitely the real name. And she doesn't really write in a journal, but I think she's got her investigative journal, less of a diary, and she check boxes and looks back over things just to make sure she hasn't missed anything, all while breathing in the dewy night air.
Okay, so spread out across town in your various quarters, you each find yourself drifting off to sleep. Rose and Sildar, you wake to find yourself in a bonbon-colored forest. There are pastel pink trees that grow red candy apples, while pale blue shrubs look to be made of spun sugar. The path ahead is one of cobblestone rock candy.
Ooh.
And you have all your gear and everything with you. And it's just the two of you on this path.
Is this Sildar? Is this a section of the Neverwinter Wood that I didn't see before?
Yeah, Nope, not that I know of. This weird dream I'm having. This is bizarre. It's usually not so pink, but
Yeah.
I'll take it. I mean,
It also usually doesn't have people I know in it.
yeah, I was actually gonna say the same thing. It's just my dreams are mostly very solitary. I'm just walking through town. My dreams are pretty much like my waking life, but I'm just alone. This is very odd. But I'll take it. Time I can spend with you, Rose. This is great.
Yes, this really is pink. We should probably definitely confirm that we're here. And I go over to Sildar and just kind of like start pinching his arm.
Whoa, I don't know why my vision of Rose would be pinching me. This is really weird. Stop that. And Sildar tries to like control you with his mind.
With his mind.
Because he's sure that you are part of the dream.
Do you have a headache, Sildar?
What? Stop talking. This is why I like to be alone in my dreams. I can't even trust myself anymore.
You can trust yourself, and I'll trust myself, and we'll be good. I'm sure we can figure out where Riot and Navarre and nobody else went to.
So wait, do you say you're dreaming too?
I went upstairs, made my tea, did some writing, and sat down to meditate, and then everything was pink.
Okay. So I did a very similar thing. That's very weird that we pretty much did the same thing.
It's what all good adventurers do, right?
That's I guess so. Yeah, yes, right. I knew I liked you. But I went to sleep and now I'm here, so unless this is some kind of teleportation magics or I don't know. This is all very unfamiliar to me.
It's like, as you said, out of a dream. And Rose kind of stoically wide-eyed, which is slightly oxymoronic, but wide-eyed but trying to remain calm, she like reaches into her back pocket where she remembers she stashed the Nightmare Stone to see if it's there.
It is still there.
Okay. She looks down at her leg. Is it emanating any weird darkness?
No, it's not.
Okay. I'm going to pull it out of my pocket to look at it.
It's just the same, like, dark crystal that it was after it had sort of died down with the encounter with the monstrosities in Neverwinter Wood.
Okay.
Whoa! What's that? What is that?
It's
Is that why we're here?
No. This is actually an ink block.
Come on, writer to writer.
I need you to make a. Are you trying to lie? You're trying to lie to him. So
I am.
Can you do a deception check?
Yes. I believe that's charisma, right? 14?
Yeah, I mean, Sildar hasn't seen one that looks like that, but in Shu, maybe ink blocks are different.
All right.
Okay, I'm just gonna put it away.
Should we walk around? I mean, I don't get to hang out in a place like this that often, so I just.
Do you have any allergies we need to be aware of?
Candy, apples, chocolate.
Sugar.
I don't know. And depending if it's milk chocolate or dark chocolate, if you have a lactose intolerance, the milk chocolate might not go down so well.
I mean, I wasn't suggesting we feast, but I guess we could, have a little nibble here and there.
Sorry, you have to realize I hang out with Riot and Navarre. We just talk about food and eating. So I just assumed when you said explore, you meant explore with your taste buds.
No, I again, I knew I liked you. This is gonna work out. This is gonna be a great dream. Can't wait.
So are you going to take a look around?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna find literally a low hanging fruit. Is there any like candy fruit hanging close by?
Oh yeah, you can grab a red candy apple.
Absolutely.
If you pluck a leaf off of a shrub, it's made out of cotton candy.
Oh yeah, one of those like daffodil teacups. You know.
I mean, even if you chiseled at the road, it's rock candy.
Important question.
Yes.
Are there any, like, candy white rabbits hopping by?
That's really bizarre.
Because Rose has no idea what any of these candies are, but it's like, cotton candy? What are you eating a cloud?
Yeah, no. Sadly, no white rabbits. So maybe
It's really disappointing. But you know what? It looks like you're enjoying that.
So as you're sort of looking around and nomming on the foliage, you do notice posted on one of the trees along the path, there is a stick candy nail that pierces through the top of what appears to be white chocolate parchment.
Oh my goodness.
And written in an elegant script are the following words. The path ahead is fraught with danger of your own creation. You must defeat the things that cause you to be uncertain. To turn back is folly, for the past is meant to be forsaken. To venture forward, release all things to which you are beholden.
That's really deep for a candy land.
It's also really deep for one of my dreams. Again, this is just another hint that I don't think this is my dream. I didn't even understand half of that, frankly.
And with no white rabbits, maybe it's not Rose's dream either. Yeah. You do happen to notice also, tied to one of the branches is a brightly colored ribbon.
Does Sildar recognize it?
If you take a close look at it, you recognize it as one that belonged to your daughter Winter.
Rose, this is Alana or Winter's ribbon. I mean
it was Alana's ribbon. It's no longer. Winter wouldn't wear that.
That's
now.
a very good point. That's a very good point. This is also very Alana in the color scheme. Now that I'm thinking about it, but not very Winter. Although I don't know what that means exactly. But
and why I would be here if this is for you to deal with your past uncertainties.
Hey,
why am I here?
Listen.
Wait, don't answer that.
I have nothing to do. Listen. I wrote all about it, and it's great. I love the new Winter. I love it. She's great.
Perhaps say "great" one more time.
It's great. Okay, it's great. So much raw emotion and power. She's just she's really. I'm actually very proud of all the things she's. Listen, this isn't for me. It's Pink World is not for me.
Well, we should still figure out then how to get out of here. Since there's really no shoe lung candy here. And I mean, if I were dreaming, this would be Cheeseland.
Rivers of fondue.
Rocks that are actually like chunks of feta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
breadfruit that's actually bread that you can dip in everything.
Oh my gosh. The leaves of trees are bread. And Sildar might notice that Rose is kind of like drifting off, eyes are glazing over as she's like maybe even starting to drool a little thinking about this cheese land.
Rose, come back to me.
Wait, do we have food? Just in case we're stuck here.
If you had anything in your pack, then yes.
Okay. Oh. That's a very specific dream. It even opening up my pack, I can see that like one of my half-eaten gluten-free bannock breads is like half-eaten. Like that's very specific for that. Sildar, I don't think we're in a dream. I don't know. I would say that in a dream, wouldn't I?
Yep. You definitely say that in my dream to convince me that
we're not in a dream.
Yeah, this is all very, very backwards. Here's what I'm thinking. It's whether it's a dream or not a dream, it feels like we need to either press on or wake ourselves up or something. But you tried the whole pinching thing. That didn't work.
I tried the pinching thing.
Yeah, that's pretty foolproof.
Yeah, and I don't really want to try anything more violent yet.
Yet.
Sildar grabs onto his sword.
No. I meant like a slap. I'm a martial arts expert. My slaps aren't just like wisps of air. They hurt.
Sildar's still not looking very sure about that plan.
Yeah, Sildar has seen her on the racquetball court.
That's true.
What? Sorry, let me back up, Sildar. What I was trying to say is earlier when I was pinching you to see if we were dreaming, that was when it was colorful and pink and candy. And before we got to the white chocolate parchment with what looks like fudge dripped calligraphy, talking about danger that we made.
Right. It also says something about letting go of our things.
I'm a monk. I don't have that many things.
I mean, I'm a dad. I also don't have that many things, as they say. Kids really take a lot out of you. So,
as you're having this conversation and your eyes sort of, are still taking everything in, you do notice that there are more brightly colored ribbons tied to branches, sort of leading deeper into the forest.
Yeah, Sildar's just going to grab Rose's shoulders and kind of point in those directions.
Okay, we'll go deeper into the candy forest.
All right, so the cobblestone candy path, as you go deeper, it becomes somewhat more overgrown with red licorice vines. Eventually, the area opens up to a small grove where a pretty terrifying sight is unfolding. There is a pack of monsters circling around an adolescent girl. They are bipedal, armless monstrosities with mouths full of rows of teeth, and the girl screams in horror as they close in on her. The creatures are picture this a size small Sarlacc from Star Wars if it also had clawed feet and fish eyes.
Mm.
And you can't really get a full view of who the girl is, but I think your suspicions are that it is Winter.
Yeah, I mean, Sildar takes that very seriously.
Rose has already pulled her quarterstaff out of its holding place.
Yeah, Sildar's
right.
longsword is in his hand.
Tell me what your first thoughts are when you see these monsters.
Just a little disgust, and like Rose is very focused on the teeth, and like just there have been a lot of teeth in recent encounters with creatures. So this is just like, really doesn't want to get bitten.
She's scared of getting bitten.
Yeah.
Okay. And Sildar?
Yeah, I think Sildar's seen a lot of weird stuff, but he's most shaken by not knowing what this is, or not having seen this before, and possibly the armlessness of them is unsettling. But that is all very, like, tiny, tiny part of his mind, because he is thinking that that Alana or Winter is in danger.
Mm-hmm. And what emotionally is that?
He's complete panic, because he was pretty sure that this was like a fun time dream world, despite that white chocolate note.
Right. All right. So as you enter the grove, the girl screams, and it's almost as though as soon as you have your reaction, even though you may not have gasped or anything, some of the creatures actually turn their attention towards each of you. Mm-hmm. So we've got 6 in total. 2 stay on Winter, and 2 each sort of start moving over towards Sildar and Rose.
Okay.
And I'm going to need you to roll for initiative.
I really hope that wasn't my only 20. Plus 3, so 23.
9 for Sildar.
All right, so it is Rose. Then these creatures. Then Winter. Then Sildar.
Okay.
All right.
So how fast are they moving at us?
They're sort of in a stalking sort of predatory mode. So they're just like turning around sort of slowly and stalking towards you rather slowly.
Okay, so they're pretty stable on their feet. All
yeah.
Right. Rose kind of pushes Sildar away and points so that indicating that we should spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts to kind of walk to her right, so she's starting to kind of go around the side, and then takes a sprint toward the nearest thing.
Okay.
With with the intention to like slide and try to like slide tackle the thing and knock one of them over.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do a martial arts attack, you can do that.
Okay, yeah, let me do that. That is 14.
All right, so you slide over towards it, and perhaps it's because you've never seen something like this and it's messing with your mind, but you just miss it.
Okay.
Do you want to take another action?
Past.
Do you want to take another action?
As I slide past, I hop up quickly, and then I try to swing my quarterstaff backwards toward it.
Okay.
See if I make contact with its back, because there's no arms to hit.
Yes.
Okay, that is 17.
That hits.
Okay.
All right. So you swing it down and do your damage.
I do 5 damage.
All right. So the creature wails. It's just screeches from this mouth of teeth. And it can't really see you because its eyes are on the side of its head. But the other one is like snarling right beside you.
Okay.
Do you have any other?
Yes, I'm staring straight in its face, and I'm deep breath, channel a little bit of chi, and step of the wind away.
All right. Where are you going to step?
To my right, but I think that's between the two of them.
How much movement can you do with that?
It's just a disengage or dash.
Okay. So you could dash away from them, but do you want to bring them? So you're over on the right side of the tree.
Yeah.
And Winter's in the middle. Do you want to try to drive them away from Winter and go that way? Or do you want to go closer to Winter to protect her?
I want to get between them and Winter.
Okay. Excellent.
And actually, to that effect, now that the four of them have moved away, is it clear that it's Winter?
Yeah, absolutely clear that it's Winter. Yeah, and she is in her like, in her Winter outfit, not her Alana outfit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's like fully goth outfit rather than the pink, all the pink stuff.
Yeah, all the pink stuff got left back in the candy area.
Yeah. Although you do notice that she is holding on to a ribbon.
Oh.
So it is their turn. You don't know what these creatures are yet. But they are just sort of wildly snarling, like bipedal feet, mouths basically, and they are gonna gnash out. And we'll start with Rose.
Okay.
The one that you smacked on the head, it's a little bit stunned, so it misses you.
Okay. Ha ha ha!
And the second one, it's trying to move around, but it's like they're really awkward on their feet. And this one also sort of gnashes at you, but misses. And then Sildar. All right. One of them on you actually bites down on you. It clamps down on Sildar around his like midsection and hits him for 5 points of damage. But Sildar, what happens is it doesn't let go. It has actually latched onto you.
What now?
Yeah. Yeah, so the other one's just trying to circle around and find a spot, but it can't really. But yeah, you have one of these creatures latched onto you.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And it's actually necrotic damage.
Awesome. Okay.
And then, as another one is, so there's two on Winter. One of them does the same to her, and she screams. And the other creature is trying to move around and figure out how to better get at her also. But two of them can't really find purchase on one person, so it's just sort of sneaking around.
Early bird gets the worm. That's what they say. They must have that saying where they're from.
I really hope these aren't the birds here. really hope, Sildar.
All right.
Also, that was definitely not Sildar saying that. That was absolutely out of character.
Oh.
Sildar is both screaming and shouting for Winter. That's the only words he can get out.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right, so Winter is screaming as this creature is like sort of latched onto her, and you notice that she's actually she's got like this candy stick club in her hand, and she smacks down on the thing and tries to detach it. And after a bit of struggle, she manages to remove it from her body, But that is her full turn. And she actually looks over and sees her dad, and there's just tears in her eyes as she sort of takes in the fact that her dad is there, and he's also got this creature on him. And then in the middle of the grove where she is, there is a sapling that sort of sways. And as it sways, it sort of turns around and says, "Golly, there are a lot of you." And you sort of recognize the tree as Bud, only he's made of candy, including marshmallow strawberry buds on his fingertips. And he's just reaching down and trying to help Winter. And he's going to make an attack on the other wretched creature. And he actually misses.
Bud.
Wait, that tree's a friend of yours?
The non-candy version. Bud, have you always been this tall? I don't remember you looking down on us before.
Gosh, I don't recall having these fingertips neither. I guess I woke up from some kind of weird dream, and you must be in my dream too. Although I don't think these creatures are.
Okay, let's talk about this later, Bud. Huh? No? We'll get to that. Thanks for joining the fight, though. We appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, sir.
Hold that thought, Bud. Let's get rid of these toothy things.
Sildar's patience is very thin. Imagine how patient Sildar is. But
Yes.
It's all gone. It's all gone right now.
So Sildar, you have a creature attached to you. What would you like to do?
Yeah, well, after he makes direct eye contact with Winter and tells her that everything is going to definitely be fine as he's wrestling with this thing attached to him, he's the other one is close by, yes?
Yeah, you've got another one that's just ready to come in.
So I think what Sildar is going to try to do is use his multi-attack to get, strike at both of them at the same time. But he's first going to take a huge swing at the one that's not attached to him and then come in to stab the one that's attached to him.
Okay.
Kind of perpendicular to his body, just away.
Okay.
So the first attack is a 13.
13 unfortunately misses. So you've got this thing attached to you, and I think that's sort of encumbering your movement.
That makes sense. That tracks. The second attack is 18.
That hits.
Lovely. That's 6 slashing damage.
All right. So you're able to detach this creature, and it's got, blood on its lips, or does it have lips? I'm not even sure. It's got blood across its many teeth, and it just sort of staggers back for a second. And now, Rose, it is your turn.
Okay. I know I'm closer to Winter. Can I get to her within the next, within another sprint?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to sprint to Winter and then kind of swirl around so we're back to back. And the one that's nearest to her as I run by, I'm going to smack it on the head.
Okay.
Or I'm going to try to smack it on. I'm going to...
Nice.
Woo! Yes. Okay. So that was 7... 12? 12.
Okay. So you smack this creature, and it just... it screeches and completely collapses into this mushy little pile of whatever it is.
Is there another one within a fist range?
Yeah, they were both...
I'm feeling very feisty.
Okay, they were both pretty close, yeah. So if you wanted to... Yeah, because the other one was looking for a way in on Alana or Winter.
And as I see it kind of going for her, I'm going to punch it in the middle of the snout, between its eyes that are on the side of its head.
Yes. All right, roll your attack.
Okay. That's only a 12.
Yeah, unfortunately, it misses. Maybe because you're a little afraid of the teeth and you're aiming like right above the teeth.
Yeah, please tell me I didn't miss and get my hand in the teeth.
No, you're good.
Okay. That would have been a 1, right?
Yeah, you didn't miss that bad.
Yeah. Did you want to take an opportunity to try to figure out what these things are?
Well, I'm so close.
Take a tissue sample if you want. Back to the lab.
DNA swab. Yeah, now that I have such a good proximity to them, I want to try to see how, like, what are these things?
Can you roll, do a intelligence arcana check?
Okay. Oh. 17.
Yes. All right. So, you probably heard from your abbot back in Shu in the monastery, because he talked to you a lot about the fascinating things out in the world, and he had told you once of a monstrosity called the Sorrowsworn, and the Sorrowsworn represent emotions in corporeal form. They take on various types of emotions, and this one, based on how they reacted to your fear of getting bitten, you think that they might be the wretched, and they feed off fear.
Okay.
And the more fear you feed it, the more deadlier they get.
Oh. Sildar. Oh my gosh. I think I know. Oh. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I know these things.
Winter is just like swinging her candy stick, and she's like completely terrified. She's like, how do you not be afraid of these things? Have you seen them?
My daughter is in grave danger of. What are you saying? Pretty brave guy, but really. I mean, testing me right now.
I honestly thought my abbot was just using these as a metaphor for dealing with my emotions. But it totally looks like the drawing he showed me. These things, like, oh god, there's teeth.
All right. So as you're trying to reason with Winter and Sildar, the two wretched that you had left behind kind of make their way towards you, and I think if we're going to play this out narratively, fighting against fear, I might ask you to do a Constitution saving throw, like everybody.
Sure.
14.
Okay, so Sildar saved.
13.
Yeah, Rose saved.
Okay.
Winter did not, and Bud did not.
No, they're so weak.
So Bud was listening very intently to your words, and the more you spoke about what these things were, you could almost see the expression on his face getting like more and more frightened, and he's turning like a paler pink with every word.
Oh no.
So basically all these wretched are turning their attention to the middle of the grove where Winter and Bud are. So Sildar, they are withdrawing from you and turning away. One of them latches on to Winter again, and another one somehow manages to get into Bud's, like, I don't know, chocolatey parts or something. And so
whoa.
They so again, you've got two of the wretched like attached. One is on Bud and one is on Winter, and both of them sort of scream, definitely frightened, and that's basically intriguing the other the other creatures. It is Winter's turn, and she's terrified and crying. Dad, it hurts. I don't know how to fight them.
Okay, Winter, be strong. This is you're so incredibly you've faced so much. This is nothing. This is a dream. This is your dream. Just be strong.
What do you mean it's my dream?
Oh. We found your ribbons everywhere. I don't know. I thought this was your place. This doesn't look familiar.
Well, yeah, but isn't this real?
Oh, that doesn't. It's how have you ever seen a creature like that? This doesn't feel real to me. This is nothing.
Make me a persuasion check.
That's a good call. Oh, boo, 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 boo. Natural 20.
NPC natural 20. All right, so you can see that Winter's nodding and almost getting braver by the second as you talk to her, and she makes an attack and swats off the she basically pulls off the creature. She's really weakened at this point, but she manages to with her last bit of strength to pull this wretched creature off of her. And so they're starting to withdraw a little bit, but Bud is still scared, and he's got one on him, and he's just like, what is it doing?
Rose, Bud needs a pep talk to talk to your woody friend.
Bud's gonna get a pep talk. I'm going to run over to Bud. I'm doing a lot of running today. Get my cardio in. I'm gonna run over to Bud and just throw my arms around his trunk and give him a hug and say that you're the bravest sapling I've ever met, and you aren't going to let these little teethy things chew on you. I believe in you.
All right, make a persuasion check.
11.
I was just going to say, I think you can get advantage because Sildar just gave that pep talk to Winter, and yeah, I think you can roll again.
11.
All right. He sort of believes you. He's still a little trepidatious, especially because he's got one on him. There's the creatures are still sort of snarling around him, but he manages to summon enough courage to start to beat down on one of them, and the one that's on him, he sort of grabs onto its weird legs, and he pulls it off, and it sort of takes a bit of candy bark with it.
Oh no!
But he's able to wrest it free from him. So he's the only one that is still somewhat afraid. Sildar, it is your turn.
So I feel like I don't want to take my act. Can my action be a speech?
Yes. You can
very Sildar.
move towards them.
Yeah.
Puff up your chest.
Yeah, I'm gonna move towards Bud especially, but I mean Bud and Winter, kind of very determined, almost like a cowboy stride, and Sildar's gonna say, "Listen here, Bud. I don't know you. I hear you don't usually look like this, but I think it's a great look. I think you're killing it. I will say that when I hear the dames talk about their stories, they've mentioned you many times, and it's always positive and glowing, and I've always wanted to know someone like that, and I think a creature as unique as yourself has no reason to be afraid. And then he's kind of side-eyeing Winter at the same time in case she needs another little... I don't know you. I hear you don't usually look like this, but I think it's a great look. I think you're killing it. I will say that when I hear the dames talk about their stories, they've mentioned you many times. And it's always positive and glowing. And I've always wanted to know someone like that. And I think a creature as unique as yourself has no reason to be afraid. And then he's kind of side-eyeing Winter at the same time in case she needs another little, pick me up. Mm-hmm. But you are bigger than this, and you are better than this. And like I said, this is all a dream, so you don't have to worry about anything. Just a dream. There's nothing. There's nothing. Did you even know you could dream? This is amazing.
He kind of pokes at the bark that's missing, but then he sort of, looks at you. Do you want to do another persuasion check with advantage?
Sure. 15.
All right. He nods and he's got Rose around his midsection, and he sort of like pats down on her, and he nods and says, "Yes, sir. I can be brave. Thank you for talking sense into me." And he puffs up his chest and stares down at the creatures, and so he actually says to them, "Y'all go away now. I ain't afraid of you no more." And the creatures, they do start to sort of withdraw. And Winter pipes in and she says, "Yeah, go away. We're not afraid of you anymore." And she swings her candy stick towards them, and, they slowly withdraw, and eventually they are no longer in sight.
Yes.
All right. And Sildar rushes right up to Winter as soon as that happens.
Yeah, and Winter does the same, and she's not even like embarrassed about the whole thing. She's like wraps her arms around her dad.
Which like shocks Sildar, because that has not happened in a little while. So he's both like terrified that this was even a thing, but also like super grateful for that moment.
Yeah, and her candy stick club is sticky, and it sort of sticks to your clothing a little. Oh, Daddy, I don't know what happened. I was writing in my journal, and I was writing, and then all of a sudden I was here, and there was that note, and I didn't know what to do, so I had all these ribbons with me still, and see, she's got one in her hand, and this is what I did in the forest when the dame saved me, and my friends, and it was all I could think to do.
That was a very smart and brave thing that you did. That's exactly right. And just like before, Rose showed up, and I'm here, and everything's fine. It's Rose.
Yes.
Everything's fine, and everything's going to be fine. And
everything will be fine.
We'll definitely figure out how to get out of here, because we're adults.
I want to go.
Bud puts his hand up, and he's like, "Technically, I'm not an adult yet. I'm just a sapling."
Which makes you all the more impressive, Bud.
Oh, gosh. That's awfully nice of you.
But seriously, Bud, how are you here?
I honest to goodness don't know. One second I was in my part of the forest and Crooked Forest, and next thing I know, I'm down here, or up here, or I don't know, sideways to here. I don't even know where I am. I don't even know what I'm made out of.
It's called candy.
Candy.
A lot of sugar. Do you know any sugar canes in your I mean, I don't really think they live in your habitat, but if you know any sugar canes,
No, maples though.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah. So kind of like syrup, sap,
And
made into treats.
fleshy things make treats out of our insides. Okay.
I'm never gonna be able to eat candy again.
Turning a little bit back into a nightmare again. So maybe just stop talking about that. And
As you're having this conversation, and those wretched creatures sort of withdrew, you do notice that in this grove, there's no longer a path out.
Oh, great. I mean, I think we have to go forward, but there's no clear. We have to leave something behind.
Alana is looking Winter is looking a little bit dejected at this point, and so she sort of slumps down, sort of slides down Bud's bark and just plants herself down at the base of him, and he takes his little marshmallow-filled hand and sort of pats her on the head, and she's just looking at the ribbon in her hand.
I think maybe that. I'm only thinking as someone who's done a lot of tailoring and a lot of weaving, that clothing and fabric have a lot more emotion and story wrapped up in them than a lot of people realize. These are the things we wear every day of our life. They're the things that often define us for when other people see us. And you use these ribbons to help us find you.
She nods.
But you're still holding on to ones.
I don't know. I mean, earlier tonight, I was getting rid of all my old stuff. The stupid, colorful dresses and stupid ribbons and all the things that made me stand out in the forest and probably got me caught by the gnolls. I don't know why. You think this is really it? Like a stupid ribbon is keeping us here?
Well, you have a lot of emotion, a lot of change in who and in your definition of yourself tied into those things. And you call them stupid. I don't think they're stupid. I mean, sometimes we don't know we need to change something until some encounter in our life reminds us that the way we've been behaving or dressing or something, it's time to change.
I am trying. I just want to be, braver like all of you and not get caught by monsters and all the scary things that are out here. All right. If you think this is it, she gets up and she ties the ribbon around Bud's little wrist. All right. She takes a step back, and then there is a path that opens up on the other side of the grove.
Rose just kind of puts her hand on Winter's shoulder.
And Bud sort of like plays around with the ribbon. Gosh, that's awful nice of you. I'll keep it safe.
Sildar gives a little wink to Rose, as if this was his plan, and he told her what to say. Just like we talked about.
If you're not going to claim credit as this being your dream, you don't get to take credit for the speeches.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so Bud sort of like wistfully looks over at the path ahead, and he just sort of plays around with the ribbon. Well,
are you just going to, I guess you stay here?
He sort of shrugs and then points down to his roots. Says, as always, I'm kind of stuck in the earth or whatever this is. I guess this is goodbye. But this ain't real though, is it?
Right.
Yep. It's a dream. Mr. Bud, sir.
Well, if it is goodbye, it's been great continuing to bump into you, Bud. You move around a lot, actually, now that I think about it. I've learned a lot about your kind.
Well, sure has been a pleasure knowing you, Rose. In case this is real, he combs through the top of his head and he plucks out the equivalent of like a strand of hair. And after a moment of sort of spinning it in his hand, he passes you a cotton candy rose.
Oh. Thank you.
Thank you. You taught me to be brave, and I will never forget that.
If we're ever in the Crooked Forest, we'll come say hi.
Looking forward to it. And do you want to head down the path then?
Yep. Rose gestures and lets Winter take the lead, or Sildar, depending on how they're feeling.
Yeah, I think they're walking side by side as Sildar has his arm around her shoulder.
All right. So Winter and Sildar, you go ahead, and Rose, you're sort of following behind, and Bud gives you his little strawberry marshmallow
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. And so ahead of you, Sildar and Winter are moving down the path, and Rose, as you step onto the path, there is a strange sensation that comes over you, like you're waking from a dream. And with every step forward you take, a darkness descends upon you. And then you wake to find yourself in your room at the Stonehill Inn. But even as you gain your bearings in the dark, the memory of what occurred fades from your mind. And try though you might, the details escape your recollection like grains of sand tumbling through your fingertips. And Sildar and Winter, when you turn back, Rose is simply gone. So, Riot, you drift off to sleep, and before you know it, you wake, and before you is a picturesque lake on a warm summer day. The water shimmers as though gemstones are set beneath the surface, and everything is aglow in an ethereal golden hue. On the opposite shoreline, there's evidence of a small camp of sorts, but its inhabitants are nowhere to be seen.
Oh, I think I'm lucid dreaming. This is rad. Riot stands up. Was she laying on the ground? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just gonna scan the surface of the water and see if she can see anything before walking over to the abandoned camp.
The water just seems like it's perfect for swimming in.
Ooh, I do love a good swim. And I do know a lot about clean water thanks to my sister. She's gonna dip her non-dominant hand into the water just to see what the temperature is. She's still suspicious.
Sure, the water temperature seems like it's the absolute perfect temperature that you want it to be.
Oh, yes, that. Oh, God. Oh, but what is it in Kelvin? I can only remember Celsius and Fahrenheit, but there's a perfect temperature just for me. I think she's gonna say, she's still gonna go check out the camp first before taking a swim.
All right. All right, so you wander over to the campsite, and as you're nearing, you notice that there are a few items set up there. There's a picnic basket, children's toys, craft supplies. There's a brush and mirror. Swimsuits seem to have been set out on rocks to dry. And on the picnic basket, you do note that there is a black ribbon tied to the handle. And as you're sort of getting closer, from the woods emerge Sildar and Winter.
Oh. Riot waves heartily. Yoo-hoo! Hello!
Riot? What?
Yeah. Did I stumble upon your beautiful and presumably full picnic basket?
Wait, picnic basket. Hold on. Yes, that is definitely ours. We definitely left this here. Yeah. Thank you for finding it and keeping it safe. No, I'm just playing. That's not ours. I don't know what that is.
No, that's mine, says Winter. And just a side note for Sildar, you are in perfectly fine health, and so is Winter.
Oh. Yep.
No reason, kind of why I mentioned it.
So Alana just sort of takes everything in, and she just runs ahead to the camp, and she picks up the mirror, and she's sort of assessing how she looks and trying to fix her hair and that new fringe that she has in the front there.
Hey, have you seen Rose?
Riot looks around and at the water and then at the sky and then shakes her head. No, I'm the one with wings, and then looks back down at the water, the forest. No, I haven't. I actually, now you think about it, I don't remember walking here or flying.
Yep. So we've been having a time. I'm glad you're here. Unfortunately, Rose vanished, I guess you could say. And I'm glad to see you. But yeah, we've been kind of hanging out in dreamland, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was my dream. Rose thought it was her dream. Then we found Winter here. Saved her from a bunch of stuff. Listen, all I'm saying is, do you know how to get out of here?
Okay, well, I assume it's not through the power of sleep, since that's how we came. And after you walk through a door, usually it vanishes in this world. Unless...
We didn't try that. We only tried pinching, so we're really open to anything at this point.
Riot takes note of his, purpled arm. Wow, you really let Winter go to town, huh? Seems like she's got some microaggressions out on her dad. Okay. Well, okay. So, I was joking about the sleep thing, but no, you just came from the forest, no? Correct?
Yes. Yep. Pink candy forest. It was delicious. Frightening. And your friend Bud was there, actually. Nice fella.
I'm sorry, you said the forest was delicious? I can't tell if you're messing with me anymore, you know?
I'm a jokester, but
oh, thank God.
It was actually made of candy. Everything was made of candy, so.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, wow. I mean, you've seen me. You know I love to eat, but I'm going to assume maybe we don't eat anything else until we figure out where we are. What if you ate the doorway, Sildar? Did you think about that?
Sildar's eyes go go wide. Because he seriously has no idea what's going on, and he's just any possibility at this point.
Yeah. We're going to have to wait for the door to maybe go through your intestinal system. And it's just not going to be pretty. So she looks back out at the water. It's like, well, it's the only other major landmark I could see. Correct?
Yeah, it's the lake, and it's surrounded by forest. And actually, the path that Sildar and Winter came from is now closed off. But as you're having this conversation, Winter she catches a glimpse of something in the reflection and looks a little surprised.
Winter, what's happening? Is your mirrored twin winking incorrectly?
She just kind of puts the mirror down. Her face turns a little pink. No, nothing. And she just kind of goes over to the picnic basket and sort of rifles through it.
Oh, Riot's heart sinks to her belly. She tiptoes over to the mirror, one of her least favorite objects, and gingerly picks it up. She's like, oh, God.
She's really trying to fight you on taking the mirror from her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'm just going to flap my wings and lift her up and then shake her like a dog on a pant leg until she falls down, just like a foot, like nothing.
Sildar's laughing, slapping his leg. Thinks you guys are just playing like old buds.
Yeah. All right. So you fly up a little bit, and Winter is just so surprised that she lets go of the mirror. But then she kind of lets you do it because in the picnic basket she finds a short sword, and she pulls it out, and she kind of pulls on the black ribbon. And is trying to piece together some sort of memory.
Mm-hmm. What does Riot see in the mirror?
Is she still flying up, or?
Yeah, like 2 feet off the ground.
2 feet off the ground. You just see your reflection and a little bit of the forest around you.
Okay, she's gonna hold it up above her head. Outstretch her arm like those sweet, sweet MySpace photos of yore. And, get some down cleave and then see if she could see anything on the ground too.
All right. Can you do a perception check for me?
It's going to be real good. 14.
You think that you see something in the corner, at the periphery of your vision, but you can't quite capture it.
Okay, Riot's gonna land right where Winter was standing and see if she can, and then kind of move around and rotate her body in a circle to see if she can catch the fleeting image.
All right. So the fleeting image, you sort of see, as you're circling around, there's a very drab, smooth-skinned humanoid, and it tries to dart out of the way very quickly.
Hey, you! Just yelling at the mirror.
Alana looks up in alarm, and she says, it's okay.
What did you do?
Winter,
what did you do?
Nothing. I didn't do anything. She kind of looks over at her dad.
We're not going to be mad at you. We just, we're in this real cool place and we want to make sure the party's all here.
Oh, it's so embarrassing though. Can you roll a persuasion check?
Yep. Oh, yes. Oh, that's good. There's 0. 17.
All right.
Riot's going to go over to Winter and whisper in her ear and go, is it more embarrassing than this? Okay.
And for Riot's big secret, visit our website.
Please check our Patreon. No.
That sweet bonus content coming up.
Winter kind of giggles a little, and
Rude.
she's turning
Okay.
she's turning a little bit more beet red, and she says to you, "It's okay. When I was little, like really little, not now, like really, really little, I had an invisible friend named Opal."
Oh, Opal. I remember Opal. Oh.
Yeah.
So is Opal here in the mirror?
Well, no, I mean she's here. I haven't seen her in a really long time. Like, after I turned 10, well, actually, right on my 10th birthday, she disappeared, and I haven't seen her since then. But yeah, she's here.
Did you you guys had fun, right? She wasn't like the invisible friend that you just blamed everything on?
No, I told her all my secrets, and she's been my friend since, well, she's been my one true friend since the bad time. And this was before Dad. And as she's speaking, she tells you about how she came to be an orphan. Her dwarven village was basically destroyed by an unknown force, and she was just a little girl at the time that it happened. And shortly thereafter, Opal appeared. And as she's speaking about all these troubling events of her childhood, the tranquil lakeside setting, it morphs into a hazy gray mist. And before you, an entire village has been destroyed. Fields are nothing more than smoldering embers. Empty husks of houses lie in ruin, its occupants strewn about, utterly lifeless. Ashes blow in a soft breeze, momentarily coating an invisible form as it rises, claws withdrawing from a dwarven corpse. Winter has the short sword clutched in her hand, and she is just trembling at the realization of
What's happened?
And who Opal actually is. And now I'm going to need you to roll for initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I really liked Opal.
Yeah, it was cool. She spoke a lot, contributed. It was super. No,
She kept Winter occupied.
remember this was in the time of BD before Dad. So, well, oh no, I guess
No,
like,
it wasn't, actually, yeah.
Yeah, that overlapped. Right, got a 15.
Sildar is 17.
Ooh, Daddy. No, I did not mean to say it like that.
Okay, so as you are standing there, from behind Winter and Sildar, it seems like your shadows have come to life. And Sildar, it is your turn.
Come to life in like a good way, like a fun Peter Pan way, or like a bad
Like
evil twin way.
Like, are they?
You're getting a murdery vibe off of these shadows.
So they're not doing the Macarena and like point at you like your turn to dance. Like
No, it's like more like the Dracula shadow coming down the stairs.
yeah.
And just to note, you also, the little picnic area is still there.
Oh.
Because it's Winter's warped imagination. That's still, when in a dream where there's like certain elements that sort of stick around, the little campsite is still there.
Got it. And Winter has that sword.
She does.
Okay, I'm going to just say to her, Winter, hold on to that sword tight and swing it hard. And I'm going to try to attack my shadow, I suppose. Okay. Is it like flat on the ground or has it become like 3D?
It's become 3D.
Cool. All right, we're into some like Kingdom Hearts stuff now. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. So Sildar's only going to try to attack his shadow. He's probably slightly afraid of what attacking Winter's shadow would do. But he'll try to make 2 longsword swipes at it.
Okay.
So the first is a 16 and a 4, so that's not going to do nothing.
The first one does strike through the shadow, and I need you to roll your damage.
That's an 8 slashing damage. All right. You're going to tell me shadows can't take slashing damage.
It's not that they can't take slashing damage.
Yeah. I know.
You do swipe through it, but it doesn't do as much damage as you would expect it to.
No, I expected that.
Well, Sildar does know his way around. Like he is. Yeah.
Again, though, this is probably new for him. Shadows coming to life. So
yes. All right. So Winter is actually not going to attack her shadow because she is trembling with rage at Opal, and she's going to attempt to attack Opal. And she is so angry that she swipes with the sword and completely misses. And at this point, there are tears tumbling down her face. How could you do this? Riot, it is your turn.
All right. Riot is pulling out a Hollow's Edge and a bolt. With one hand, I guess she's super good. And with the other one, she's using we'll say the middle finger to create the rune mark of Hunter's Mark.
Nice.
Definitely gonna go for Winter's shadow because she's kind of left herself a little bit open. So she's got Hunter's Mark glowing on the shadow in a deeper black if that's possible. And then is gonna let a bolt fly right. We're gonna say right at the heart of the shadow.
All right.
Ooh. Let's see. Plus my 2 because I'm using my weapon of choice. Or my fighting style. Plus 2.
Yeah.
Oh, 21. My bow can drink.
Yeah, so that arrow flies true. Now roll for your damage.
Okay, so I get my first D8, okay, and then my plus 6 or 1d6. 9.
All right, and 1 is piercing.
Piercing is 6.
6.
And then the Hunter's Mark is 3.
Okay. So the arrow flies and sort of pierces through the heart area and goes through. It does do damage, but you, as a hunter, understand that piercing damage. It's got some sort of resistances towards it.
Oh, good. My hunter's sense kicked in without me using it. I love it. Okay. She pulls out her book and writes no piercing. No, she doesn't write that down. She makes a mental note. No piercing.
All right. So it is Opal's turn. And Opal strikes at Winter. With her claws, she sort of rakes across Winter. And Winter screams in pain as the claws kind of go across her chest.
No.
That was in character, right?
Of course.
No.
No, I'm an old man.
And now it's the Shadow's turn. So they're each going to attack Sildar and Riot. So Sildar's up first. 11 does not hit. And a 1 definitely doesn't hit.
Oh, no. Man. I'm going to guess the Shadow, like makes for me, and then I stick out one of my clawed feet and trip it like we're in a Warner Brothers cartoon.
It doesn't quite stumble because it is a shadowy form, but okay. Yeah, they both have failed at their attacks, and now it is back at the top of the order with Sildar.
Okay,
you got it, S-Man.
I think Sildar wants to try his hand at Opal now, because Opal has attacked Winter, and that is upsetting. But again, take the 2 huge swings with his longsword at Opal. So we have a 12 and a 13.
So you are really mad with rage, and unfortunately, you're blindly swinging and missing.
I like to think that he starts swinging before he even gets to Opal. Just like
tears also streaming from his face.
Yes. Oh man.
All right. Winter is going to take the opportunity to grab a pot of paint from the picnic basket and hurl it at Opal. Natural 20. Whoa. So Opal takes this pot of paint. It splashes all across. So now this creature is actually a little bit more visible. Mm-hmm. And she's also going to try to stab at it again. And again, unfortunately, she misses. And she's just really, really weeping at this point, just like so mad that she can't actually hit Opal, and it's making her even more frustrated. And she's just sort of standing there crying. And Riot, it's your turn.
Riot thinks in a voice in her head that no one else can hear. Like daughter, like father, like daughter. I'm going to enroll them in a boot camp when we're done with this. And she drops her longbow and pulls out her glaive, two-handed weapon, and just whole horks it at the, still holding on to it, at the Shadow's, we're going to say Tukis region this time.
All right.
Oh, good. She gets a 1. Oh, I'm sorry, a 4. I forgot my attack bonus. A 4.
The Shadow just sort of like does a little booty shake and miss. You clearly miss.
Yeah, you can hear it go boom, boom, like around it. Okay, cool.
All right. It is Opal's turn, and she is going to take a swipe at Sildar, and she actually misses Sildar. Her claws sort of rake out and just miss making a connection.
Monkey see, monkey do, I guess.
And now the Shadows are going to go. First, we're going to go for Riot.
Come at me.
11 does not hit. Mm-mm. And the other one is going to close in on Riot as well. And a 3 does not hit. So these Shadows are just sort of floating around, trying to harry you, and not doing a particularly good job of it. Sildar, it's your turn.
I think what Sildar would do now is actually approach Winter and kind of try to comfort her. Is that an action? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, you know, there's a part of him that's like wants to be in fighter mode, but it's Winter just looks too distraught to let that happen. So yeah, he's gonna kind of move close to her and just kind of make eye contact and try to calm her down. He remembers the last encounter they had, dream counter, where it was all about her emotions, and he's just gonna try to tap into that. And I think he might actually kind of tell her about the sword, the short sword. So he's just like quickly kind of semi-distracting, semi-calming her. Winter, this short sword, this is actually mine. It's my family's. I've had it for long. I don't know where you found it, but you're holding it, and it just seems to really take to you. Look at it. It's basically glowing with you, and I don't think you have any reason to be upset. And if you're going to be upset, just you take that anger and you focus it on where you want it to go. And he kind of points in Opal's direction, although he's not looking at Opal. Hopefully not also pointing at Riot behind him.
Yeah. Can you make a persuasion check?
It's actually for eye contact, because getting teenagers' eye contact is one of the hardest things in the D&D universe. So.
I assume she's just like rolling her eyes.
Yeah.
15. Which
All
is
right.
good for Sildar.
So for Sildar in relation to Winter, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so she, as you're speaking and telling her about the properties of the sword and how powerful she is, the scene does get slightly darker. It seems like it might be for ambience, but as it gets darker, her sword, it glows with moonlight. And she sort of straightens up and wipes the tears from her eyes. And I'm going to give Winter advantage on her rolls now.
All right, Winter.
All right. Is there anything else that Sildar wants to do?
No, he'll probably just ready himself.
Okay. All right. So Winter misses on the first one, takes a deep breath, and so her sword swings out, and it's glimmering with this beautiful moonlight, and cuts through the creature. And it slashes through, and it lets out a bit of an unholy sort of screech, but it's still standing. Right, it's your turn.
Excellent. Right, it's going to advance on the same monster. Pulling out her short sword and holding it. Was the sun out in this village scene?
It had just darkened for ambiance purposes, so
okay.
Yeah, it's still dark. So that
awesome. She's holding up her short sword, proclaiming, "Aha! And the matching sword of dusk glow," because there's probably nothing glowing about it. And she's gonna attempt to take a swipe, maybe perpendicularly, so to make like an X shape on this creature and just, open it up like a dumpling.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Yep. 14.
That hits.
Yes.
All right.
So she, crisscross. And you don't, nope, I'm not gonna, yep.
All right, roll your damage.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Too preoccupied in my note taking. 5 damage. Piercing. Haha.
All right. So again, your short sword swipes through, and Opal lets out another unholy sort of screech, and looks to be fairly wounded at this point. And Opal is going to turn her attention to Riot.
Ooh. Can Riot yell something really fast, though?
Absolutely.
She's gonna yell to Winter, "You might have to forgive Opal. I don't know, just she's coming after me, but I feel like forgiveness might be key, too. Okay? Goodbye. Maybe forever. Who knows?"
Winter is very firmly planted on the ground, and she says, "There is no forgiving what this monster did. She took away my family and everything I ever knew, and then she pretended to be my friend." And the skulk actually tries to claw at you, but is distracted by Winter's little speech and misses.
Ooh. Huh. Well, think about it this way, Winter. Maybe it was, acting in the manner it knew best, but when it saw you, it wanted to make sure you'd be okay, because you were just a baby, Make sure you would live, and, now you have a new family. A doofy family. She's pointing at herself and Sildar.
Sildar's just nodding.
Yeah. But it's a family.
She nods. You are a couple of doofy family members, but
I'm glad you got that takeaway.
Oh, the shadows sort of close in around you now, and they are going to attack Winter and Sildar. The first one tries to swipe at Winter and misses, and the second one tries to swipe at Sildar and also misses. These shadows are not spectacular at combat.
Not enough body to him,
Yeah. Sildar, it is your turn.
All right. Sildar's going to try to take another longsword crack at Opal. Sensing the weakness. 2 attacks on this. 21 for that first swipe.
Yeah, definitely.
And, that's a natural 1 on that next one. But the first one is going to look real good. Doing it. 4 slashing damage.
All right.
Where were you aiming, Brittany? Sildar?
You guys did like an X, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's trying to continue that kind of star formation. So the first one's like straight down, and then the second one he tries to come in, and like he definitely misses, but doofully like pretends like he was just kind of whoops.
Riot nods and like thin-lipped smiles. "We're gonna turn you into a footnote."
The skulk sort of hisses at you. Definitely understanding, but also not able to sort of communicate. And now it's Winter's turn. And oops. And she tries her best to swipe at this creature and unfortunately misses, even with advantage. It doesn't dissuade her, though, because she's still standing very firmly planted, staring the creature down. And Riot, it's your turn.
Was the short sword, the moonlight one, the only thing in that picnic basket?
It looked that way, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I just wanted a cheese break. Okay. Riot takes her short sword of Dusk Glow. That's a real name now. And is gonna go right for Opal's like hissing mouth. Oh, woof. That is a 11. Ugh.
Unfortunately, that misses. You try to swipe, and the creature sort of dodges out of the way.
The knife point like hits in between the teeth. You really gotta floss more, like this will kill you in the long term.
And again, it hisses, not appreciating your humor. And it swipes at you and does not connect.
Ugh, this is Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, everyone. Mordenkainen's.
All right, Shadow's turns. So they're going to continue attacking.
Attempting to attack.
Attempting to attack.
It's kind of like we're just doing like a cool music video at this point, right? Like there's so much dancing involved and parrying. It's like
yes, there's a lot of choreography for sure.
Yeah, like a really rad fencing music video.
Well, we joke now, but the second shadow actually connects with Sildar.
Oh!
And so it swipes out at Sildar, and let's see. Oof.
Can I see this shadow? Was it in front of me?
Yeah.
Can I try to parry?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that real good.
Take it to the bridge, Sildar!
So my AC is actually 21.
All right, so it actually misses.
That's right.
Nice.
That's it. He's just doing another dance move. He's just adding to the music video. Slithering out of the way.
Yeah, and Winter just rolls her eyes really, really hard.
Yeah.
Teens love it when their parents dance, if I've learned anything from not having one. Yeah.
All right, Sildar, it's your turn.
Yeah, I think immediate distraction is that shadow, so he's going to go after that shadow again.
Okay.
Whichever. I'm not even sure we are classifying them as one or another, but the one that just attacked me.
Yep.
That's a 6. That's not going to happen. Aha. And a 21. So second slash.
Yes.
Connects, I hope. And it's for oopsie daisy. 5 slashing damage.
All right. So again, you slash at it. It does. You can tell it does a little bit of damage, but not as much as you thought it would.
Fool me twice, you know?
All right. Now Winter, again, she's going to try really hard and focus her attention on Opal.
You've got this, Winter. Aim true.
And she does it. All right, let's see what she does. All right, so her blade swings and she stabs into the center of that little asterisk that you've all made. Mm-hmm. And the creature crumples down, and you can see on its face like a look of misery, as whatever life this creature has just completely dissipates, and it crumples to the ground.
That's my girl.
She lets out this really deep sigh. And then in the distance, although you've still got these two shadows here, you do notice that there's a path that has revealed itself. There's sort of like this patch of sunshine that peaks above the horizon, and it reveals a way out of the bleak village.
Riot's gonna step in front of the two shadows and yell, "Go up the path! I got these guys!"
Oh.
Winter looks over at her dad, not sure.
I mean, I'm gonna fly, like 5 feet after you. I'm just trying to keep you from getting hit on your way out.
Sildar,
every moment counts.
Sildar is going to walk really slowly up to Winter, occasionally looking back at Riot, nodding. Because she's got this.
If you're gonna walk away, the shadow does get an opportunity attack.
This is what I was trying to avoid. Walk backwards. Work those glutes.
So walking away, I was walking towards Winter. so that we could walk away.
Yeah. In order to do so, they will take opportunity attacks. So, Sildar, do you want to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna...
It does hit. And it does 8 necrotic damage.
What? Go down in a blaze of glory. And your strength score is reduced by 2 points. Oh my gosh.
Forever. Sorry, Tome of Foes is not messing around. I joked earlier, but...
All right, but you do make it over to Winter. The shadow is now with Riot, but Winter does have a shadow on her. What do you want to encourage her to do?
I'm going to look at Winter and say, do you want to stay and fight?
Winter nods and says, she's a doofy family member, of course.
She could hear you. We're like loud and clear. Thank you. Let's go. Cool. My sacrifice is for nothing. I love you. Yes, let's go.
All right, so
let's fight.
They're gonna stand their ground and Riot. So you've got a shadow in front of you.
Yeah, she's gonna swipe at the neck of it.
All right.
With her short sword. Haha! Burn it! 20!
Yes, that definitely hits.
Haha!
Is that a natural 20?
That is a 15 plus my attack bonus.
Okay.
So. Right, it's like excited. She's like, they call me the head lopper. 8. Piercing.
Piercing?
Yeah.
All right, so you swipe at the shadow, and it seems like it's beginning to lose form.
Excellent. They call me the, she's taking it down one peg at a time.
All right, so it's the shadow's turn. It misses Riot. And it swipes at Sildar again. And it hits for 23. So that hits your AC. Yep. And oof. Okay. It slashes out at you for 10 damage. Mm-hmm. And your strength is reduced by 4 points.
Sildar, don't worry about it. I forgot I have all this stacking stuff I forgot to do. You're good.
Great, Riot. This is great. Also, this is the worst stream ever. Winter, I still love you, but this really is terrible. Ow.
What's a stream?
Just fight.
Yeah, he's slurring his speech now. Sildar, it is your turn.
Yeah, okay. Oh, man. Yeah, he'll turn around to that shadow that attacked him and try to swipe at it twice with his longsword.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, 11. It could be worse. And 11. So, on the off chance that shadow forgot how to be a shadow.
Sadly, no.
Yeah,
the shadow is able to sort of dodge out of the way.
Okay, all right.
And now it is Winter's turn.
Sildar's gonna move away also. But like boldly, like in a cool way, like in a, like not away, but like to the side, like quietly. But like
crutch
cool.
First, like I'm. How is this coolly? Like
Are
you like you got your fists up by your chest? You're kind of doing like a shoulder roll into the space away.
No, like at a dance, like he's just going to the wall and like being a chaperone for this like fight that's happening. So he's just gonna kind of blend in. You know.
Are you trying to disengage from the shadow?
No.
Okay.
No. Kat, I would never.
No, it's maybe you missed the new spell section in Tome of Foes. It's called Dad Chaperone, and it's the ability to become one with a wall.
Yes. Yep.
All right. So Winter is actually going to step ahead of Dad.
It's exactly what I wanted to happen.
Does she do it coolly though?
I mean,
She
course.
does, and she you can see again like that rage is building up, but it's sort of a controlled rage. She got a 19, and with her glowing sword, it actually glows even more as it's swiping through the shadow. And as it's glowing, even though she's got this, it's a piercing or slashing weapon. It does seem like it's like that moonlight and the radiance from the sword actually cuts through it, and it screeches. Riot, it is your turn again.
Yeah. She is going to attack the same shadow she clipped in the neck. She's also going to cast Slayer's Prey on it. She hits it with a weapon attack. It's going to take an additional 1d6 that she will add to that other 1d6 she's definitely not forgotten from Hunter's Mark. So a total of 2d6 on the additional. She's going to take that short sword and go, I never forget anything. No. 13.
That hits.
Oh, yes. Oh. Okay. The first piercing damage is 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and now we've got Hunter's Mark. 1. Slayer's Prey, 3. For a total of 13, right? Yeah.
All right. Tell us how you dispatch this shadow.
Yes. She has the short sword above her shoulders. She comes down in the face and she's gonna gut it tip to toe. Gut that shadow. Let the daylight in! She screams, like going down to the crotch. Yeah. And I assume it splits in two and then just kind of evaporates. Yeah.
It sort of evaporates into the darkness. And then, seeing how the tides have turned, the final shadow just sort of fades into darkness.
Yeah, you better run. That's right.
Good job, Sildar. You couldn't see it was behind your back, Winter, but he totally dispatched that guy. Oh man, that was amazing.
Sildar's holding his lower back, but trying to make it look just like he's standing up straight. But
he's chewing on some medicinal roots.
Winter is just sort of staring at both of you and looking down at her sword that's glowing, and just you can tell that she's completely amazed.
At us, right? Is that what you mean?
At the situation.
Us included. Okay, all right. Oh, cool.
Yeah, but you're part of the situation.
Yeah, we're part of the situation, all right.
All right. Oh, Winter, are you okay? I think you did amazing.
She nods. You did pretty awesome too. And you too, Dad. I haven't seen you do anything like that before.
Oh yeah, your dad does this sort of stuff all the time. Usually he doles it out a little bit more, but he wanted to let you have a shot.
You were pretty good with that sword, I have to say. I knew you would be, but it was really, really cool to see you do that.
She rolls her eyes.
He's not giving her the finger guns, but he is with his eyes.
Oh, right. Just right. Hurts watching this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shall we walk down the path before we, meet any other travelers?
Oh, yeah. Those other creatures, we didn't actually kill them all with Rose, so they could be literally anywhere. We should probably go.
That sounds like a really good idea. I want to leave all this behind. I didn't really think I would see all this again. And she just sort of looks at the village and kind of takes in, what was her past.
I think Sildar kind of takes his arm around her shoulder, which he's still shocked that she's letting him do that, and says, this is where I found you. I remember this scene too.
Really?
Yep. I was sent here to your village, or what was your village, to clean up after this terrible thing happened, and there wasn't a soul around except you. You were huddled in front of what I guess was your house, and you were holding so closely to this little stuffed bear. You know that the stuffed bear? You still have it in your windowsill?
Yeah, Bairn.
Riot does not laugh.
You were so still. I'm surprised I even noticed you. You were you looked like you were made of stone. You were staring straight ahead, and I knew just then you're a very special girl, Winter. And no matter what happens, I don't care what name you go by or what clothes you wear or what color ribbons you have, you will always be my rock.
Thank you, Dad. And she just hugs into you a little bit, and you all sort of walk the path, and with every step you take, your surroundings sort of lose shape. And Riot, you wake as though from a dream, and even as you gain your bearings in the dark, the memory of what happened dissipates from your mind. Try though you might, the details escape your recollection like grains of sand tumbling through your fingertips.
I feel like I did some really sick stuff in my sleep and I can't remember. The muscle memory, no! Is Riot in the room with anyone else? She's like crying and
No, you're
waking up everyone else? Okay.
You're in the hayloft at the elderly farm. When you do go through your things in the morning, though, you find a pair of boots. And after examining the boots for a little bit, you recognize them as boots of false tracks. Only humanoids can wear these boots. While wearing the boots, you can choose to have them leave tracks like those of another kind of humanoid of your size.
Ooh.
Will they fit over my claw feet though? Like they'll fit on.
They should fit over your clawed feet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was like, oh, cool gift for someone else.
Regift.
Yeah. I'll modify. Oh no, these are rad. She's like reveling in this too because she follows tracks in the forest a lot. Now she's gonna be like, I'm gonna mess with someone so good. Yeah. If they fit. Oh, that's Riot's embarrassing big secret, and shoe fitting is a different podcast. She's excited, but she is wondering who or how she got these shoes.
Mm-hmm. In the morning, when Rose wakes up, she finds a staff in the corner of her room. Taking a closer look at it, she recognizes it as a staff of adornment. Oh. And what this does is, if you place an object weighing no more than 1 pound, such as a shard of crystal, an egg, or a stone, If you place it above the tip of the staff while holding it, the object floats an inch from the staff's tip and remains there until it's removed or until the staff is no longer in your possession. The staff can have up to 3 objects floating over its tip at any given time, and while holding the staff, you can make one or more of the objects slowly spin and turn in its place.
Ooh. I'm just going to be turning this thing over in my hand, trying to figure out how it must have just been left here by the person who stayed here before. But I can't believe I didn't notice it before.
Don't turn it into Lost and Found.
Oh, you totally would, Rose. Oh.
I know.
Except for the fact that I've been stealing stones left and right. I'm just gonna, my quarterstaff was looking a little rugged. I'm just gonna stick this in my bag. I'm still not, I don't have memory of that, but I definitely just feel like I earned it.
Winter wakes at her writing desk, ink smeared on her face. She glances around until her eyes meet Bairn's. With a sigh of relief, she picks up her old friend, and only then noticing the short sword beside him, with an opal carved in the shape of a crescent moon on the pommel. Odd to find the weapon here, especially one with a black ribbon tied to its hilt. A gift from her dad, she wonders? Stifling a yawn, she makes a note to ask him in the morning. When she rises from her desk, she turns and sees the sack of pretty things she had packed away earlier in the day. Marching toward it with the stuffed bear in hand, she hesitates as she looks down at Bairn again. Then, with a heavy sigh, she ties the sack shut and brings the bear to bed with her. Surely, not all things in the past are meant to be forsaken. Hey listeners, it's Kat again. That's a wrap on this one-shot adventure for Podcasts of Foes. Thanks to Wizards of the Coast and Victoria Rogers at The Broadswords for reaching out to us. You can find the full list of participating podcasts and streamers at dnd.wizards.com. If you're new to D20 Dames and like what you've heard, head on over to iTunes and smash that subscribe button. You can also reach out to us through our social media links, which you can find at d20dames.com. Anyway, that's it for now. Until next time, misadventure awaits.